Hey everyone, welcome back to the shop today. Hey, today we're going to do an unboxing and I'm going to show you how to put together the Auto-Kamado Grill. I got a few freebies that came with it. Anyway, stay tuned. I'm going to unpack all this stuff and I'll be right back. Okay guys, I wanted to lay out all the parts that came with the grill and just kind of give you an overview of all the parts. There's quite a few, but the instructions look fairly good, so I'll just point out a couple of things. When I purchased the grill, I got the grill cover and a bag of lump coal included in the price, which was about a probably $60 value. I thought was pretty nice, and they shipped it to me free. And so you can kind of see, and I'll just kind of go around here. You have the base with some wheels that go on it to make it easier to move around. You got the two side shelves, one that has the controller on one side and then the opposite side. That piece in the middle is an insert that goes into the grill that actually holds your coals and stuff that's in, and I'll show you more about that later. The top right here that you see is upside down. The smaller piece there, that's your ash pan. And then you have, this is the actual base of the grill. I do have the cast iron grill in it and some parts sitting on top. You got the top cap. You have the leg sockets. You got a power cable for the fan and the thermostat for the temperature gauge. And then you can come over here, like I said, you can see the three legs, the handle for the front. You have the black grate that is part of where you put your coals down in the bottom of the pit. The silver one goes up top, and you'll see it's just extra grilling, gives you extra grilling space, or if you need to move something up so it's not so close to the fire, you can do that. The silver part in the middle that looks like Superman's badge, but it's not. That is the heat deflector that you're going to use when you're cooking low and slow. And then you have your wheels. You got your two big plastic wheels that are on the side, and one, I believe that's a 2-inch caster that goes on the third leg. And you have the axle that the two big plastic wheels attach to. And then that piece that you're seeing that has the Char-Griller stamp on it, that's the bottom shelf. And then the hardware, and then up next to the hardware, those are the items that you will need to assemble this grill. And I've got a couple different sizes of Phillips head screwdrivers, a 7/16 inch nut driver, a hammer, and just a standard pair of pliers. So pretty much everybody's going to have the tools they need to assemble this. So I'm going to move on to the next step, and the next step is taking the base and attaching the legs. And so let me get to that part, and then I'll show you where we're at from there. Okay, so this is the bottom of the pit, and I've lifted it up and put it on my mobile workbench here just because it makes it easier for me. But you can do this on the ground. You know, you can leave it on the ground, have it upside down to attach the leg sockets. And the thing I really like here is that the grill itself has already inserted threaded sockets here that you're going to use to connect this with the hardware part A. Okay, so this is the leg socket, and you can see the pre-set holes for the nuts. You're going to use hardware part A to attach these, and you can see I've already attached two of them, Now, one of the things that they tell you and that you're going to want to do and not forget is do not tighten any of these except by hand until you get through getting everything assembled. That way it gives you a little flex to allow everything to fit together. Just so you know, when you do get ready to tighten these down, you're going to be using the 7/16 nut driver to do that. That's what fits these. The next thing I'm going to do is attach the legs, and I'll show you that in just a sec. Okay, so the next step is we are attaching the legs. Again, we're using the bolt A, but also with bolt A on this part, when you're connecting the legs, you're going to use part D, which is a little lock washer. Again, just line up the holes and finger tight. That's all there is to it. What I did too to kind of help save some time is I made sure that I put the bolt and the lock washer on the bolts. Got 6 of them ready because that's how many you need to attach the legs. And then that way all I had to do is line it up and hand tighten them in place. Now the one thing you want to look at here is, if you can see the top of the legs, this is where the axle is going to go through the legs and we're going to attach the wheels, and you want these to be on this part back here where you see the latch. So just make sure you have them on the back side where you can see the latch, and this is the one that has the brackets on them so that you can run the axle through to attach the wheels. So the next thing you're going to see me do is I'm going to attach the bottom in here, and then we'll put the wheels on. Okay, so now the next step after you attach the legs is putting the bottom shelf on. This takes 5 of the A-style bolts and also include one of the D lock washers. Now I'm going to tell you, this piece right here in this step, you might need an extra hand with. And make sure that you have these just finger. You may have to back them out a little bit, so don't tighten them down because you've got to be able to flex these legs to align up the holes here and the one on the other side right here on the inside. As long as you have them loose though, got an extra set of hands, you can get that bottom shelf started. The next thing I'm going to do is we're going to add the axle, the 2 wheels here, and the 3rd wheel on the other side. Okay, so I've run the axle through this, and that's pretty self-explanatory. It just line it up, goes all the way through the holes. Then you're going to take your wheel. This part of the wheel goes on first, and then you're going to use these 3 parts. You got a flat washer first, then the cotter key. And a cotter key that just slides right into place. There's a hole in this shaft even though you can't see it. Just push it all the way through like that. And then this cap fits right on the end. Now this is where you're going to need to use a hammer, but be careful and you know, maybe use a rubber hammer instead of a regular hammer on this, because this is plastic and all this is a metal ring on the inside that just covers that and keeps that wheel from coming off, even though it probably wouldn't come off because it's got a washer and a cotter key on it anyway. But this is just kind of really more for looks. Okay, after I get to the next step will be to take this off the bench, set it on the floor, and then we'll start attaching the rest of the parts. And one thing I wanted to talk to you about, we just did the rear plastic wheels, but I want to talk to you about this caster here. Now this has an insert in this leg already, and it just threads. It's got a bolt and it just threads in. But if you thread it in all the way, you can see there's no clearance, even though there's a nut underneath there to tighten that down. So you want to get it as tight as you can by hand. I don't believe it'll come out. You could always wrap a rag around it and get you a pair of pliers and just grip it and you know, give it a little extra twist if you want it tight. But I think you can probably tighten it enough by hand, and I just wanted to give you that information. Okay, again, I want to reiterate, the instructions say you need a hammer, but so far the only thing that's needed to be hammered are these end caps. And like I said, this plastic on the outside and it's metal on the inside. So don't use a standard hammer, use like a rubber mallet. They do make some that are a little smaller than this, so if you don't have a rubber mallet, I'd suggest, you know, maybe pick up a cheap one, because that way you don't damage that end cap. The next thing is, once you get your wheels on, you can go ahead and tighten up all the bolts for the leg pieces, the legs, anywhere down here. Go ahead and tighten up those bolts, because you're done with that section of the grill. The next thing that you're going to attach is the fan, and it uses screw J, and those are just Phillips. So start them by hand, don't tighten them down till you get all four in, and then you can use your Phillips head screwdriver to tighten that down. The next thing we're going to do is put the two side shelves on. Okay, so the next step is we put both shelves on. Now these take bolt B, which is a long one, and a flat washer, I believe that was E. So B and E, one washer per bolt. These bolts, just so you know, they go all the way through from the inside over to the shelves. So get them started, don't tighten them down till you have all four started pretty good by hand, and then you can tighten the shelves down. As you can see, the left side is just the shelf, and the right side has the controller on it. Okay, we're going to move on to the next step. Okay, so I want to show you this sensor probe and where it goes. It goes all the way through the lid, and you can see it's got a wing nut on the other side. So on this side, you're going to use the wing nut and the flat washer. And on this side, you want to make sure you have the silicone washer. Okay, and just push it through. You're going to push it right through some insulation, but that's fine. It'll go, it's easy to push through, so just push it through, put the wing nut on, and, you know, snug it, finger tight, and that's it. After that, the next step is we're going to put the lid on the grill. So here we go. And all that does is line up right here. And you're just going to line the holes to the pre-drilled holes there. And these use bolt C. Bolt C, and there's 4 of them. So just do like we've been doing. Finger tight. And once you get all 4 of them in place, you can go ahead and snug them down. Okay, so now we're going to attach the handle to the front of the lid here. And you've got several parts here. You actually have the bevels left and right. They're marked on the inside, and the handle. And then 2 bolts. These are I. They have a lock washer D and a flat washer E. And you'll see that this one's silver and this one's black. I've lost one, or they miscounted on one of the flat washers. But a flat washer is a flat washer, so this will work. And so then you're going to want to open the lid, and we're going to, you can see the handle's already threaded, one to the left, one to the right, and I'm going to attach it to the lid. Okay, so now we're going to attach the top damper. Now make sure, because this damper it's numbered in the front here. So you want to make sure that it comes in right through here, and that it's facing forward, okay? And then you'll see underneath here, There's a here and here, and these are bolt A again, and you're just going to line this up with the hole and start one. There, one at the bottom that holds the bottom down for one, like that. And then take your 7/16 nut driver and go ahead and snug these down. Okay. Now the next thing I want to show you is putting on the ash pan. So let me show you here. The ash pan, you see this piece right here? Once you slide the ash pan underneath, there's a latch on each side of the bottom of the pit. And they latch to these. And that's what holds it in place. So now I want to show you, if you reach underneath here, and you just slide it right there, and then you are going to latch each side and the ash pan is attached. Okay, and so now we finally got to some of the easier stuff here, and I wanted to show you. You have, this is called the fire bowl and the fire grate, and the grate just sits inside the bottom of that, and then the bowl just sits down in there, and then you have your cast iron. Oh, wait a minute. You got your heat deflector, front and rear. So it sets like that. And last but not least, your grill sits there. This is pretty handy too, so that when you are cleaning a grill, you need to remove it. It's got a spot on it, or you can just hook it and lift it up, and that way you can move it around and clean it. Now the last step that I'm going to show you is connecting the actual temperature control panel and a couple of settings there, and then we'll be done. Okay, I wanted to show you the sensor's inside, and it comes out the back like we mounted. It's got a little screw, and this is just to hold it in place. And then it goes right through this rubber grommet, and underneath, let me hold some light up here, and the black plugs into the black, the white plugs into the white. This is the power cable. It just plugs right into this piece here, and that's what controls the fan. Okay, so I also wanted to show you, because it comes with a meat probe, and it's separate here. It's got a little, just like a regular jack, and it plugs in right here to the front. One end plugs here, and you can have two of these because there's another one up here, and then you can stick the probe into the meat, and it'll give you your meat temperature while it's cooking. Hopefully this was helpful. If it was, make sure you share this with your friends and family. Don't forget to hit the like button. Also, ring that bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. And I can tell you this, the next video about this grill, I'm going to show you how to season the cast iron grates. So until next time, stay safe.